Hello, SpeedGaming. It's me, Facephones. No, literally, that's my username these days now. Hi. So I heard you all needed some comics. As your friendly tournament admin, I will try to get up to speed. Let me load in the chat here. I'm supposed to be working, but you know, why work when you can watch Rando? Alright. So, what did I miss? It appears that I believe by the time we exited the escape, we had the ice rod, a book, and not much else, but looks like Kakariko Village is having some goodies. So we do have some divergence happening right here at the start with Trinexx, you know, doing a more traditional clear of Kakariko, while akuheish is taking a death to the crabs, but because they were looking to go to Ice Rod Cave and set up the water walk, so that is a little unfortunate. So are we gonna, with akuheish, are we gonna get a little revenge on the route we were planning on doing, or are we gonna, you know, run back to Kak? It appears that we're gonna go check out the dam and then probably go to Agina, while Trinexx is continuing their clear and getting a lovely cane from the back of the bar. And then, yeah, we're gonna just continue on here. Casual boots, you can get a pretty jacked start, so, you know, we have quite a few pieces to get us going. We'd like to see a glove, though. And as akuheish heads towards Agina, we are getting a big 300 from the pack. Oh, there's our first glove in desert. So I spy with my little eye a dip into desert. We don't have a fire source, so we can't beat the dungeon, but life goes on. So it appears that Trinexx is going to continue with the South Shore. They're going into the dam. It'll be a decision for them if they're going to go to South Shore or head over to the desert area with that book. There's that required small key here. Alright, looks like Trinexx is gonna opt for Mini Moldorm Cave while Akuheish is gonna go collect their prizes in, Pendant Desert here, but I mean, the real goal is getting that glove. That's gonna let us go up the mountain out of logic. I would not be surprised if our next play was to go there, although Akuheish doesn't have the hook shot. So maybe not, because they wouldn't be able to go to the other side. It would be more of an incentive for Trinexx to do that. Yeah, I mean, Akuheish leaned into... I'm going to be very interactive with chat, by the way, kind of reading back and forth. We're going to spitball a little bit here, right? Akuheish not doing a traditional, escape route, doing the cack skip. I'm pretty traditional. My first 10-11 minutes of casual boots, rather, are pretty rote. And that's gonna be it for the prizes. We can't fight the boss. Not that we necessarily would want to, and we're gonna see Trinexx setting up that double water walk. Well, just a regular water walk. Because with those flippers, we're going to be able to first scout what's on Lake Hylia, which is 10 arrows. Now we're going to see the admin under the bridge. Looks like they did a tactical dodge so they wouldn't get sniped. Sometimes the Octo Rock, I don't know, like the splash of the mini rocks can get you in the water. A little bit of disappointment at Agina. Meanwhile, that admin under the bridge is, just has some bombies. We don't need those. So it appears this is Akuheish retreating back to Kakariko, gonna collect all of the goodies that we have seen Trinexx have. Meanwhile, because Trinexx is loaded with cash, we can throw most of it away at Zora for probably, I don't know, 3 bombs. But who knows? First, we're gonna get a mushroom and a Master Sword. We like that. There are ways to loop that mushroom turn in at some point. But that's not really too much of a concern at the moment. Just a piece of heart on the Zora ledge there, so we don't need that. Alright, let's see what we're gonna get for our big payout. Like I said, 3 bombs. It's, as Watercast in chat is saying, looks like an Agaseed. I mean, yeah, we're a lamp away from thinking about that. Trinexx is immediately getting rid of that mushroom. I don't want it. Get it out of my stupid inventory. Goodbye. And then, what are we setting up here? Oh, oh yeah, this is the turn-in. See, I've played too much cross keys. Ah, Bombos, that's a nice line there. We have a decent chance of needing that later, eventually, when we gotta go into Mire and Turtle Rock. Yeah, Trinexx remembering that they don't have a hammer, it's not going to work. So looks like we're gonna go say hi to Sahasrara and then Eastern. There's our lamp. That's gonna be definitely trending towards an Aga seed. It appears that Trinexx might just be YOLOing going for Aga 1 versus going into Eastern, because they are making a beeline for Hyrule Castle all over again. Meanwhile, Akuheish is gonna go say hi to the admin under the bridge. Well, the thing is, the reason why Trinexx is going there first is because he didn't go to desert and is unaware of the glove that's sitting on the desert ledge over there. So, he is thinking we're gonna push, pod access pretty early. We have a green goo, so we can sequence break the bow lock anyway. Is that in logic? No, but when you're down one game and you're playing a fast mode like this, logic is more of a suggestion than something to help you. Although it can help you hone in on some things for where to go later, but I mean, at this point, you're thinking, I bet you my hammer might just be in pod. That even if you got the glove, yes, the mountain could help you, but the mountain might not have Dark World access anyway. Decently strong likelihood that it does, but not necessarily. So given the information that he has, just pushing the Dark World immediately versus a bowless Eastern, yeah, I can see why he would want to do that. Especially because Desert is the pendant, and unless you're making the play to actually take care of Agina Cave, like say if you do the anti-meta play leaving Link's house, right? Between South Shore and then like Dam Agina, you could do Dam Agina as one thing and then do South Shore afterwards. But yeah, I mean, it appears Akuheish is gonna forego going to Sahasrara and will just sequence break the mountain anyway. He'll probably be back for that lamp later, because he's going to be interested in getting the Saha 3 checks. But yeah, I mean, as Wadakus is pointing out, with the hookshot and flippers, you can get around the blocks and then make a nice big long Dark World loop, eventually ending over at Hype Cave, or you just jump back in the water and keep going. So the old man gives you 20 bucks. Not the greatest prize, but what can you do? Meanwhile, Trinexx is hanging out with Aga 1 here. A second shield is mirror locked. Unfortunate. 300 more dollary dues hanging out on the other side of Spec Rock. So we can say goodbye to both of those. And then we're gonna go across the way. Down goes Aga 1 for Trinexx. And Aku has to be a little mindful of the Dead Rocks owning him, because they are at half a heart. Look, even more money chilling on the ledge. I'm surprised for a second that Trinexx didn't take it, although I suppose they'll have a chance to do that. I wonder if they're gonna go to No, they can't do catfish. Just kidding. They're just going to be doing a Dark World loop. Meanwhile, I missed the bottom two of Paradox, but let's see if we get anything fascinating out of here. Ah, a Tempered Sword. That's always nice. And I guess that was the big prize, was the Tempered there. Although that's nice to have before you start attacking bosses. Meanwhile, Trinexx is zooming across the North Dark World. We're going to go I Spy Bumper Ledge, and that's just 20 bucks, so we're all set with that. Meanwhile, on Floating Island is also 20 bucks, so that's kind of the end of that. We don't have a hammer, so we can't get to Hera. So Spiral will be the end of the line for Akuheish, while we have Trinexx going into Skullwoods. So this is what I was saying earlier, right? You could just be forced to go to Aga 1 anyway, because that's it for Akuheish here. I mean, another sword is nice, but... And then we get our Dark World information. So Meyer and TR are both pendants. Okay, dude. So that means we do need that fire rod at some point. True fact, so a couple months ago I played my first Kaz boots in a while, because I've been mainly playing crosskeys lately, and I forgot that I could not go kill Mafia without the fire rod. So this is going to be Aku going into our Aga 1 climb, while we can just focus on Trinexx for the next little bit in terms of like new item information. So both runners, yeah, have opted not to do Bowless Eastern, which I don't fault them for in a speedy mode like this. You don't really want to be double dipping dungeons if you can avoid it. Because, well, in case you haven't really noticed by a lot of these finish times in these races, you don't have minutes to waste on a double dip. So now we have Trinexx entering Vu. Let's see what we can find here. So far, really not much in Vu. I mean, the glove is the one thing that Trinexx is missing, but I mean, when are they going to get over there is the real question. I'm not really sure. We got a nice flute, so that could actually turbo. Once he's done with the Dark World loop, he could activate it and then turbo on over to the desert area, because that's a flute to 6, and you would immediately I Spy that. And feel like a dingus. There's our hammer in Thieves Town. So unless there was another glove in Eastern, you know, it appears Aga would have been required. Now we're gonna go lay the beat down on Blind, as long as we don't get sniped by Zyzaxes. So where Trinexx is at the advantage at this point is not doing an extra mountain climb later. because what Trinexx will be probably hoping will be able to go deal with Hera at this point as well. We got a glove in Thieves Town. So, yup. Yeah, so now you're supposed to have Titans. So that's going to be interesting for Trinexx because now that he has better things to do, Desert is going to be a little bit tricky to get to. Because the Titan's mitts will be required in this mode, of course. Ooh, a cricket got Trinexx there. That's a little unfortunate. Oh, and if Phoenix is still in the chat, I'm actually now seeing, because I have eyes that can actually read now. I see the commentator controls. They were worried about that before I hopped on here. All right, so Aku is now follow in the Dark World here. So let's see what's at Maiden Cell. This tracker, it's a little tricky to read. We have a locked key. It's been a hot second since I've last commed with SpeedGaming, so yeah, there's controls for me to handle here, so I can take care of some things. So because Trinexx is not going to have the mitts, they cannot complete... that would have been the boots if this was an open 7-7. Looks like Akuheish wasted lovely amounts of time over at Catfish while Trinexx took down Blind. But what I was saying is, since Trinexx is not going to have the mitts for their Dark World loop, they're not going to be able to do the Smith Chain. Will Trinexx go to the flute? I would speculate no. I would think he would be interested in the mountain, seeing as he can get the Hera and clear a crystal there, as well as clear out a whole bunch of checks. We're doing 7,000 digs and still no prize yet. Can we get a prize sometime this year? 50 rupees. I'm gonna take it. After all, you dug up so many holes, you want to get paid for your work, right? Alright, time to send Stumpy to his grave. Thanks for your 20 bucks. So no mirror means no Swamp Palace access, and no way to check the KEKW book tablet over on the Desert Ledge, but we're going to rush over to Hype. That's kind of the big prize over here. What do we got? $20. Another 20, a $5, a 50 pack, and a piece of heart. Negative 9 out of 10 out, in that my opinion. almost as if it was vanilla. So I believe in the vanilla game, that's just 4 20 packs of rupees in there. So we're going to activate the flute. So this will be Trinexx's chance to scout 6 and see that his now Titan's mitts are there and realizing that he got them out of order. But I would suspect he's going to go to the mountain because you got the hookshot and the hammer, so you can get to Hera. It would be better for him to check Desert first, because then that way you could do DDM as well. But, nah, we're going to go straight to the mountain. So this does offer akuheish a chance to get some new information soon once we've taken care of the rest of this Dark World loop here, you know, through Vu, and then also getting over to Hype Cave. But he's going to have the mitts, so it's possible to at least start the Smith Chain or take the Froggy with you. Yeah, the mirror is going to be a little bit interesting. We will need that. I mean, the mirror could just be sitting in Bolus Eastern, right? And that'll make both of our runners feel pretty sick. In this mode, yes, mitts are required no matter what, because you have no way of getting to GT without the mitts. So Trinexx is gonna get their tempered here, and then I mean, they cannot do, they're not going to do Spiral before they go to Hera. And there's akuheish getting the mitts. So in theory, they could go see about Dark Death Mountain on another trip. I'm thinking neither of our runners are going to be very interested in going into Turtle Rock when they're up there. Yeah, you have Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. So I mean, you're talking about 6 chests. You know, that's a lot of goodies. And we can check our book here, of course, with Trinexx, and it is clothes. So Trinexx is definitely very much ahead in the progression of the seed, but it has the major caveat of, you know, they're cleaning up what Aku did already, and now, I mean, you're hoping for a bow, you're hoping for the mirror, although we already strike 1, and we only have 1 other item here. And folks, this is why we like Red Pot. It's simple and easy. There we are. I mean, that is the one caveat for Trinexx, is they have to figure out going to Desert at some point, and they will. It just does afford akuheish in a bit to catch up based on being able to do some mitts unlock checks. At this point, Yeah, because we have the bombos and the hammer and a glove, so if Akuheish wants, they can go defeat Ice Palace at the end of their Dark World loop here. Alright, so we still have an item, Big Chillin'. I wonder how aggressive Trinexx is going to be feeling at this point. To skip Hera Basement or to not do it, and it looks like it appears they will go do Hera Basement. I see they're not going for the lazy strat of just sitting on the peg and having a nice think. They triggered the super speed. That's funny. Alright, well, we know what akuheish is going to be doing for the next 30 seconds. They're going to be digging 5,000 holes. Alright, let's see what the reward is for big chilling in the tile room. It's a boomerang. And of course, we have no mirror, so you would either have to death warp out or hoof it. And Trinexx is electing to hoof it. I suppose with blue mail, it's actually kind of annoying. The death warp. No, you're gonna unfortunately have to hit the other crystal Trinexx. We don't have anything on our inventory to get the off-screen crystal switch. akuheish is gonna take the froggy for a walk. I don't know for how far. I wonder if... So, okay, Trinexx is electing to go with Spiral Cave over Spike. Well, we don't have the... oh, no, we don't have... that's not in logic, because we do not have a Cane or a Cape yet. And nowhere near enough health to tank it. I mean, if you had a fairy, you actually would have enough to be able to sequence break it. Because the iframes are OP, you know, you can get quite far. 10 shooty boys from Spiral, and that's about it. akuheish is collecting their disappointment. Alright, where to? It appears that we're gonna go... probably... oh, we're going to pod. Okay. So we're going to use our green goo to sequence break the bowlock side, because there's a decent chance that we could be instantly bowlocked after the first chest and shooter room. Alright, so akuheish is going to be checking King's Tomb, since they have the mitts. And that is a big heart. So it appears that Aku is going to be at least turning in the smith. I'm not sure if they'll continue by turning in the chest. They could. Well, we did get a key in the first chest of pod, so that helps. We're not instantly bowlocked. And we're guaranteed to get quite a number of keys then in the front, as this typically how this typically works in this dungeon. Alright, so now we turn in our smith, and let's see what's over here. So this is something that Trinexx cannot do for quite some time. Trinexx getting another key from the lobby. So now we're going to go to the big key chest as Aku gets another heart container. I don't remember if Trinexx did Magic Bat or not. Trinexx is collecting keys and immediately spending them. Hey, that completes our coin collections. Alright, yeah. Saving and quitting. So this is probably Aku gonna... Okay, we're probably gonna be rushing Dark Death Mountain. You know, we're gonna get 6 kicks at the can here in DDM. Meanwhile, Trinexx does the potion unlock to get these 2 items that he should be forbidden, but is going to have. There's the big key, we want that. And another small key. So we can use our hammer to get around and out. Yeah, we're gonna do the cane strat. There we are, nicely done. So this will be Aku. Oh yeah, you're right. Aku should be doing Hera first. Probably not Trinexx's best bomb throw in their rando career. But, we can open that anyway. Aku collecting their clothes, while Trinexx is going into the U basement. So, we're trying to figure out the math on key for a key situation, and Trinexx is correctly calculating that correct. Harmless Hellway will have just another small in it. So unless there's a bow here, this is the end of the line for Trinexx in Pod. And realizing that they are probably out of items, but I think they're going to check anyway. Yeah, they're checking their map tracker and realizing, yep, we are out of items, so we're out of here. This is probably... What are we doing? We are now going to see the myths and feel sick. And now Trinexx feels sick. My stomach doesn't feel so good. So... Probably Trinexx's next play would be to go to Ice Palace. We do have a fire source, and there will be an item on the land mows, despite this being a pendant. But yeah, Pod having a big fat nothing is a little disappointing, but I mean, it was a very dense item play to do. So I wonder if Trinexx, feeling a little guilty, is gonna defeat the Landmos at this point, or if they're gonna really steer into the skid and just play more aggressively. Generally, in in casual boots, you know, pendant dungeons and boss kills don't exist to me. You know, you got the real prize in the midst here. Yeah, we're leaving, so we're gonna check out Gina and save and quit. No, in the casual boots tournaments, we don't have any flags this year. It's just going to be the basic cas boots. I suppose soon probably should get around to setting up the player poll for the year. Well, we usually Because as one of your admins, yes, I actually do read the feedback. So that could be a point of conversation. If it's been kind of the hip thing in tournaments these days to offer a base flag set, and then you know, you can opt into more things. We're seeing that this year in the Cross Keys tournament. We've also seen that in some other tournaments as well. Although what's interesting about the Cross Keys one, since it's all and akuheish dying, realizing we have ourselves the fairy, and now we're going to see what I talked about earlier about how the iframe is OP, and you can get quite far with your iframes on a death revive. Meanwhile, we have Trinexx going into Ice Palace, like I was saying, would be the next logical thing to do. Didn't really get much. Trinexx doing a nice kill in that room, getting rid of all of those pen gators. Aku is... Oh, I guess we're going back for DDM, huh? No? Oh, true, we can actually open, that's true, now that we have the mitts. We can just open the portal. Let's see what's an H. Ah, there's our fire rod. So that is very important to have. That will answer many questions. Only one item remains here in the town, as we're gonna watch akuheish open Turtle Rock. Being fire-locked, they could take a quick dip in there and die to leave because they don't have potentially many checks in there, but we're probably going to get our 6 items first. Oh, thanks a lot. We get the big key right before we get to the big chest. That's always nice. Just had a small in there. Okay. Uh-oh, and I have lost the signal. Well, I missed the second item for the pickup over in Super Bunny. I'm assuming it's garbage because the tracker did not show anything interesting for us there. Meanwhile, Trinexx is out of items. And there's our mirror and hookshot. So we need that. So both runners have something that the other needs. And I believe that just leaves us a bow away from no mode. Because, I mean, yes, akuheish probably will be hanging out in Ice Palace very soon. Although they could do Swamp first. Trinexx is a pokey. Well, half of a pokey anyway. You usually start with 4. You're going to see that on akuheish's next room over here. It should be 4, but you know, when you whack at them, you know, they lose parts of their body. No, just the Zelda sprite. Aku doesn't necessarily know the dodging strats for this room, I see. Alright, although we do get that going. We get the shovel juice, and then, yes, we are locked out. We would need the fire rod to continue. So it appears that, oh, Aku is gonna make the memes be real by immediately chasing the shovel. And, you know, Trinexx is going to be able to take care of Skullblitz, and then probably we'll have to think about going to DDM. Not even going to pick up that heart container at 2 hearts. So we're going to the Mire area. I mean, I suppose you can do the Mire Shack. And we could go into Mire, but I don't know if that would be the best idea when you have a Crystal Dungeon available to you. And yeah, I mean, we could just have a bow and bowless pod, and I mean bowless Eastern. There's our bow. Okay, so we are in no mode. And in fact, Aku will be in go mode if they go to Ice Palace first. Well, I suppose, yeah, yes, you can take care of Pod in Eastern while you're here. This will be nice for Aku because that means they didn't double dip Pod. Especially because they got the mirror, right? So that's just kind of the thing, because, you know, Aku was able to do this by having the mitts, by being on the mountain with mitts when, you know, Trinexx did not. Well, no, Crossstep. Trinexx has already been in Pod, so they double dipped it. But unfortunately, yeah, Aku is going to be full clearing this as well, because they did not pick the fire rod yet. But it does appear Trinexx is going to be headed towards DDM and is going to collect that mirror. And it would be an attractive play to go check out the Mire area and get those freestanding checks like Akuheish did. So we're apparently going to be in for a bit of a race here, and hello Lana Bean for the raid, thank you so much. That is true, Trinexx could be going into Turtle Rock at this point. That's Aku completing their coin collection. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, I think when he gets the mirror, that will push Trinexx to at least do Swamp. And that would be enough to get him off the mountain. So we get our mirror, and we're not even waiting for the animation. What are we doing? Oh, no, I thought we were saving and quitting, so now what? Oh, okay, we are mirroring after all. Thank goodness. I was about to say, Trinexx, don't do this. It's time to leave. Yeah, that's what I thought. Trinexx is going to be going into Swamp here. This makes a lot of sense. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Aku is rushing the boss. Probably means they go back in. So, I mean, this is... You know, I mean, we go back in, so you can probably you can save and quit a bit sooner once you run out of items. Although in this case, since there were no items even before the big chest, you know, we know that Helmasaur King is going to be junk. The runners don't know it incoherent, but it would be very spicy and bold for someone to, you know, start doing an entrance, you know, an exploration glitch with a tournament admin on the call all of a sudden. That being said, last year there was a runner in the that I participated in last year in the 2024 tournament that was stream sniping one of their group mates. So, you know, people can be capable of anything. Alright, Aku, having defeated Helmasaur King, is going to go back in and clean up, since they didn't really get many items in their first bit here. I suppose, you know, you can skip all the keys. There are definitely some degenerate key strats that you can do by skipping them all. Because, yeah, you can just do a hammer jump and save a key. Oh, that's tragic, yeah. Getting knocked out of bounds in the Dark World by those stupid Ropas. So, I mean, Aku is gonna be, and it's so tilting when that happens because, you know, you have to save and quit, and you're trying to get to an annoying... So that's it for Aku and Pod. Now we're gonna go to Eastern and clean that. Well, if you get knocked out of bounds, if it's the spot I'm thinking of, you can't even move, right? Because I know there's some places when you get knocked out of bounds, you're just stuck. Oh, I guess I've just seen... I guess it just depends. I don't know. I remember seeing Aurora Snurd. It happened to them once, and I guess just the way they got knocked into the cliff, they could not move their sprite at all. Was what I remember. Well, this was years ago, so I mean... Trinexx is going to be big bombing it. I mean, there are two bows out there. We don't necessarily have to get the one at Checkerboard. So we're kind of in a race for who's going to trigger their go mode, where we have Aku eventually going to get over to Ice Palace for the Fire Rod, whereas Trinexx could go check the Mire area and get the bow that they need to be in go mode. But Aku is getting ahead on dungeon clears because of just having the bow earlier and being able to take out some of these dungeons while while Trinexx is running around looking for a bow. Eventually, Aku will have to clean up Skullwoods, which Trinexx has already done. Alright, where to, Trinexx? Hey, we are gonna go to the mire area, so this is good for Trinexx. I mean, you're gonna check out the mire 2 first. And we'll see if he does. Okay, we are gonna go to checkerboard first. So that does mean for Trinexx at about, we're going to call it 10208. No, not 08. Okay, I got a little excited. 10209, as Aku gets a gold sword off of the Armos Knights. 10209 puts Trinexx in go mode, although this does mean they have to take care of Pod and Eastern. And then it just depends on what Aku wants to do. Are we going to go check out Ice? We are going to go check out Ice. So that means, Aku will get their go mode Fire Rod. But Trinexx is already in the go mode and knows that he can rush the bosses. I think this probably puts Trinexx in a bit of an advantage because there are no checks for him to open, whereas I believe, where was that Fire Rod? At Freezor? I'm trying to remember where that Fire Rod was. It wasn't early. I remember it was a little bit into the dungeon, so you had to open some checks. Oh, it was an atrium. Okay, that's not so bad. But, Trinexx is already almost at Helmasaur King and then just simply mirrors into Eastern, whereas Aku has to finish killing off, Cold Stare and then has to go to Skullwoods. So definitely Trinexx is going to be in a position of advantage here. Could this be within GT routing? It would have to be two wildly different routes, so that puts Aku in go mode at 104.34. Now, Aku remembering, oh yeah, I do not need the thing. I just don't think, I think by the time Aku gets into GT, I think Trinexx is going to have all bases covered and be still ahead, is what I'm getting at here. Because it's going to be some traversal for, you have to take into account Aku has to do the overworld traversal over to Skullwoods to get to the back. That takes a hot second, and they didn't get a quick kill on Cold Stare. Huh? Trinexx. Oh yeah, you still need the big key, but this is what happens when you play cross keys for too long, and the you would not you would already have the stuff. I believe the last set of the cross keys matches for the week are starting in 45 minutes, and then we'll get our week 4 assignments. Alright, Trinexx gets their big key. Are they going to be greedy and fluff the big chest? No. Oh, I had forgotten that Aku needed swamp as well. Yeah, this definitely puts Trinexx into a pretty significant lead here. I did not realize that. Both runners are probably not feeling amazing because of, Trinexx whiffing on those mitts. Trinexx says, "I can't believe it's not butter." Alright, I guess people are putting in guessing game numbers for the GT Big Key. I'm lousing at counting, so I'm gonna have to trust you all on that. Me personally, I just say rando room because I hate the rando rush out, and it always ends up punishing me when it works out for them. So I don't know. Somewhere between like 12 and 16, I guess. That's where I have a bit more fun, is just calling your shot directly like it's pool. And Trinexx has not yet opened the TR portal, so I'm gonna be going through this way. Alright, in we go. As Aku's going to be fluting over to Skullwoods. Alright, we're immediately rushing the torch area here. Let's see what's up. Piece of heart, no thanks. Got ourselves a small key, another small key, and the big key, so I believe that makes 4, and a nice fluff for some clothes, change of clothes to get ourselves that red mail. We're practically invincible, and I can't wait for Ganon to say, "Did you find the silver arrows in my tower?" Look, there's a parody song called "I Can Only Count to 4," so I'm still in good shape. I suppose. Whoa, what happened here? Oh, there we go. So fortunately we had a very friendly GT. You know, Trinexx is down to 3 hearts. I can't really see what's in their bottle. I think they have a fairy, but oh, they were thinking of they're gonna collect it and then and then they fail to get the fairy. Sag. We had a little bit of a mom spaghetti moment there. We were thinking about it would be great to have a little bit more health so that the shooter doesn't keep sniping me in the face. Or that these, especially now that we're down to 1 heart. Ugh. Yeah, but unfortunately now we're going to be hearing beeping for the next while. At least it's not the double time beeps. Yeah, also, like, eating a Kamehameha from the, you know, the whiz robes would also not be great in this situation. But we're going to be close to, you know, being able to heal up in a second, so everything is Gucci. See, we have 1 heart left. Everything is fine. And then we instantly lose a heart by the the rotating energy ball. And we do open validation chest. Very nice. Oh, and the play-in race for these brackets to go to the round of 32. If you validated your parking there, you got a gold sword. Or in the case of Ravis, it was their tempered sword bailout. Because there was a sword on Lake Hylia Island that Ravis never saw. We're doing some geometry lessons here from Trinexx. At least it's going to be a 3 cycle, so that's nicely done. Oh, it was 2 cycle evil. Oh, Aku does not have enough shooty boys. Ooh. We have the shovel if we were feeling really desperate. Yeah, we're not getting clips, so I guess we're going to go dig holes. This feels sickening. You know you're at 115 and you're supposed to be climbing, and you know that this is typically a sub 80 mode, and you're digging a million holes instead. Thank you. 7 arrows now. We're feeling good about ourselves. Zambi, didn't have enough arrows. Akuheish there. You need a few of them to at least get through the first room and then get the 5er in the next room. Especially when you have your one of your shots eaten by a spike. Meyer had our other silvers. Alright, we got through, you know, Mimics 1 and 2. And now we're on. Meanwhile, Trinexx is spinning away. So things kind of started out looking great for Aku, but then eventually Trinexx kind of just took over, and now we're getting the GGs in for Trinexx as they're going to trigger a Game 3. And you get your GGs in with a race time official 1:17:21. We got ourselves a winner. And we instantly lost audio. Oh, probably because Phoenix was probably in the chat doing that. Let me see. Let me see if they want to interview. I can do that if they like. I jumped on comms. 5 mins in. I think you all got invited to chat if you want. We will see. People want to join. But yeah, happy to step in a pinch. I haven't really done comms that much, and generally I have. I don't know what it is in my head mentally where, like, I have something in my mind, like one of the locations, and then I switch it out for another on the tip of my tongue. And we're joined by akuheish. GG's.
Hey, thanks.
So yeah, I got in as you're exiting the escape sequence, so I didn't really see much of it. I know there was divergence right off the hop, because you decided to cack skip, and that gave Trinexx quite a few goodies. You know, that you eventually cleaned up, of course. But yeah, and the other big thing was, as we're now joined by Trinexx, the winner of our race, GG's.
Thank you, GG's.
Yeah, we were just talking about, I hopped in as you all were finishing Escaped, and by the time I got my life together with the mic setup and everything, you all had already done some major divergence because akuheish cack skipped while you were doing a more traditional, you know, Kaz boot start out of Escape.
Sounds like someone was doing a I won game 1 route, so let's screw around as much as possible, huh?
I took Ted and went to South Shore.
Okay.
Then died trying to get into Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah. CAC was actually stacked this time. It wasn't like progression, but there was like a lot of like items just sitting around.
Yeah, you had a lot of goodie bags there.
Yeah, I followed that book right away into Desert and got that
okay
glove.
So yeah, I was really late on that glove, and I had no idea how that routing was going to affect me. Because overall, the only hard item was the bow, and I guess that you could have grabbed that any time, just randomly checking the Meyer area. But I guess you probably have progression most of the time. By the time you're done, you have everything open. So
the bow I needed a mirror for.
oh, okay, that makes sense. So did you do an early mountain dip then after that, like walk up there?
I did, but
Okay.
it wasn't for quite a while. Like I went up there with mitts.
Oh, okay.
Got the mirror, and I dipped into Turtle Rock to see how far I could go without the fire rod.
Oh, okay.
I was
I see.
looking for that too.
Yeah, by the time I made my second mountain climb for the Dark World stuff, I had already done ice, and so I basically did a useless dip into pod. And then after that, when I ice got fire rod, finished up skull, and then I think it was the mountain after that, and then mirrored swamp, and then randomly I just decided to check checkerboard after doing the pyramid fairy.
Yeah, if I went into ice before going into pod Eastern, I would have had the fire rod already instead of looking for it going through pod and Eastern.
Yeah,
So I full cleared those both. But I did get to go mode swamp.
I mean, for the most part, go mode swamp. I mean, I just checked the items in the way, so it wasn't too bad. But
yeah,
at that point, I was only looking for bow, and so I just was not going to deal with left-sided period. Like just before going in, I could just screw it off. There's just too much open. Like I had all of Smith Chain still, North Dark World, every pendant. So
yeah, I got one item out of desert on my way to get those gloves.
Yeah, it was that early dip into desert. Definitely affected things a lot because that meant Trinexx was locked out of quite a few things, and did an early, Aga play instead of. Well, nobody did the bowless Eastern before Aga.
Yeah, I dipped out from Saha with the lamp. I said I'm just going to go through Aga and go to Thieves Town.
Yeah, I mean that makes more sense in general because I mean this is a fast mode, right? You don't really want to be double dipping dungeons. You can absolutely avoid it.
Right. And then our other glove and hammer was in Thieves Town.
yep, just freebie sitting there right in front. I actually laughed out loud at that, but.
Yeah, I guess I was kind of wondering then when you eventually got the mitts Trinexx, was your stomach hurting a bit when you saw them there?
Yeah, like I said, my mind was racing because I was just thinking of how this could have gone, but like it was really difficult to tell how things could have went because the options were so much different. But yeah, once I found the bow, I did feel behind up until actually literally finishing. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes, and I mean, this also happens in some of like the key sanity modes as well, where it's just, like being locked out of certain things means you get locked out of bad options and are forced into doing the good stuff instead.
Yeah.
You get locked out of the things that you don't want to end up wanting to do, and yeah, so. But yeah, I mean, definitely GG's. I'm excited for y'all to do a game 3. Since you've now both taken one off of each other, and I believe the winner of that game 3, if I'm looking at the bracket right, they'll be playing Aurora Snurd.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I for whatever reason, I thought Aurora had one. They did have one of the buys. My brain is just like I'm in like 5 different places at once. I'm calming when I'm supposed to be working, and now work is done. But playing a little hooky from work, and then like just getting a few things sorted as well. But yeah, no, you both. It's Aurora and the reason why I thought it was just a buy was because Cademan and Angle HZ just finished their round of 48.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I had been used to seeing Aurora with no name underneath them, and I was like, oh, okay, that match between Aku and Trinexx means it's against Aurora. So, whoops.
But Aku, if you want to do this tomorrow night, same time, if you're available.
Yeah, I should be available. Or maybe an hour later, so that
Okay,
way I'm not rushing after gym because.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't want to have you rush this time. So 8 o'clock
Yeah.
tomorrow would be great.
Yeah, no worries. Just slap it on the schedule, and we'll happily probably find a crew for that as well. And
I'm going to shot call it SG main right now. Like I did it last night. It worked, so it can only work again.
Yeah, I mean, SpeedGaming is good to us in this tournament, and we have a good viewership for y'all. Like, big ups to everyone watching these races. This is definitely, as a viewer, a very accessible mode to watch, and if you want to start playing, it's a great mode to start out playing with. We have all skill levels here. I mean, we're in the brackets now, so you're watching some good players, but definitely a very approachable to check out. And you start out as a viewer, and then suddenly find yourself downloading your first seed and the randomizer with an emulator or something, and you blink, and then 5 years have passed.
Yeah, that just about checks out.
Yeah. It's just like reflecting on my life choices from 2020 onward, Here we are. But yeah, GG's to y'all. Is there anything you all say before we all head on out over?
No, not right here. Just want to say GG's again, and thank you, Facebones, for putting on the comms for last minute. So, and Phoenix for doing the actual setup.
Yeah, Phoenix being the big MVP on the SG side, we can't thank them enough. I think they might have. Oh, they're still awake. Oh, hello. They're in chat still, so that's cool. I figured they would be bedge by now, but maybe not. But yeah, definitely drop the runners a follow. And if you want, you can drop me a follow as well. Since I switched to my channel, I don't really have any followers. So if you want, you can. I do play as well, mainly cross keys these days, but I suppose I should be practicing too, huh? We should all be practicing, right? But yeah, just want to say thanks for you both putting on a great race.
Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care.